All right, good news for the 49ers from the Warrior game on Friday night. Now, I can't wait for the comments on this. Guy, you're making too much of this. Some things are big things. Some things are little things. All things are things. It's just a little thing, but it is a thing to notice. So many of you probably saw this, but I'm watching the game and I see Steph at this three and he hits this guy in the front row, jumps up. This guy's wearing plaid. And my immediate reaction was like, I think that's Brandon Aiyuk. Brandon Aiyuk is reintegrating himself into the community. And it's a beautiful thing. I think he needs it. And I think going to a Warrior game, letting people see him, have fun with competition, have fun with Steph, it's good for his confidence to be around greats and have them treat him like like he's worthy, because he is. And I think so many people have forgotten some of the impacts that Brandon Aiyuk had on the 49ers before he got paid, not before he got hurt, before he got paid. And, I think my tone has been consistent in the last few months. Like, I think he can get back there. But part of him getting back there is him getting some of his spirit back. And so I know it's like this idea feels a little silly. And it is a little silly because it's some of this, our own psyches, our confidence is silly. But I thought it was great for him to get out there. The last thing he needs is to have people, quote unquote, this air quotes, booing him in his return. The Niners spent a lot of money on him. They may think it's too much money. You all may think we all might think it's too much money, but it's spent. He got the bonus 4 days ago. That's why he's sitting courtside. And so now there's two options. It can either have him earn as much of it as possible, or continue to create an environment where he feels unwanted and, I don't know, maybe I don't think unmotivated, and has no chance to earn any of the money. Like, can he live up fully to the contract? What if he lives up to 90% of it? That's a pretty good player. If you think he got overpaid by 15%, so he lives up to 85% of it, that's a pretty good player. You just need him to get back to what he was. You don't need him to become the guy that's worthy of being, a top 3 paid. By the time he's back and healthy, probably, by 2026, when he's fully healthy, he won't be a top 5 paid receiver anyway. But I just thought it was really cool. And I think he needs it. Don't forget this about Brandon Aiyuk. He was the guy in camp a couple years ago when Fred Warner was making the point that he was going to try and rile people up, maybe start a couple of fights, get people angry. It was Brandon Aiyuk when Fred Warner had a late hit in practice that came flying in like a torpedo. I was there and was ready to start a fight with Fred Warner. Like, this guy has something in him that they need. Now, he's not mostly, the beauty of Steph Curry is not only is he an all-time great player and a great teammate and a great leader, but he's also a great entertainer. Basketball is a little different than football, I guess, in some ways in that way. You don't have as much time for the entertainment element in football. But I think there is some of that, I hate to use this because this kind of died a couple years ago, dog in Aiyuk. And I thought it was cool just to see him out there enjoying competition in a way that, he's not out there sitting on his hands like he's getting fired up. And I think that's got to be inspiring for him because he can be that guy. Not Steph Curry, but the man in the arena. Well, all these people going crazy. But for right now, I'm going to be here on the sidelines cheering you on. I think it's cool. Now, for those of you worried that after Brandon Aiyuk got paid, Jed York was not going to be able to afford anything else, good news. It was a very star-studded crowd at San Francisco's Kakari restaurant on Friday night. I happened to be there. Jed York was there. Dusty Baker was there. Willie Brown was there. Luminaries. Many people were there. And I saw a couple of celebrity chef, Tony Cervoni was there. And I was talking to him at his table, and one of his buddies was like, you see, there's Jed York right there. I was like, oh, there he is. So good news. Kakari's still the place to be if you haven't been. I go a few times a year. I love it. It's a big meal, but it's a great meal. Great vibes. I personally stick to the appetizers and the desserts. And it's sacrilege. People say, how can you not? The lamb shank, fine, do whatever you want. I've been several times. That's my advice. But anyway, City was buzzing. I got to tell you, on Friday night between the Giants, the Warriors, and I thought seeing Aiyuk there was not a big thing. I can see the comments already, but not nothing. I think he needs to reacclimate to being a part of this. Now he's not going anywhere. To being a part of the community, I think that makes him feel good. It would make it because he's a human, and you want to be out there playing, performing for people that are rooting for you. And I think seeing Steph kind of treat him the way he did, hit Aiyuk in the chest as he ran by. Good restraint by Aiyuk, by the way. Like Aiyuk did not hit. He didn't put his hands up on Steph, to like high five Steph or something. He just stood there like he wasn't going to interfere, but then Steph reached out and popped him one. So that was cool. That was good. It's just good to see Aiyuk in a different light instead of the is he being mean? What's going on with the team? And then he's hurt, and then everyone's mad. It was just good to see him in a fun light. Hopefully, it's a sign that the vibe tide has turned.